Hey friends, at the moment, we're on a mission. And rather than sitting down to a giant Korean feast like on our last few episodes, right now we're fixing to hone in on something that's both lighter and simpler, but that still keeps one foot in the naughty zone. I'm talking about baked goods. And with that as our theme for today, get ready to do some serious neighborhood hopping and to join us on a hunt for some of the tastiest breads and pastries in all of Seoul. We're only going to start to scratch the surface, but for me, and especially for this gluten fiend, this feels like an ultra-joyful Christmas morning. Ring them sleigh bells, y'all. Here's a fact. Like many people, we love scouring bakeries in this city. And as new trends and international influences have been sharply on the rise in recent years, if variety is what tickles your fancy, there have never been more options to try here. But while that's all well and good, our journey is starting off with a very quick taste of the old school, over in Jamsil, just south of the Han River. We're at the Lotte World Mall, a humongous mecca for shoppers and all things in vogue, but we're here for something that's patently untrendy, a traditional treat known as Hwangnam Ppang, or Hwangnam bread, served up at the only Seoul branch of a company with the same name. Dating all the way back to 1939, and mainly consisting of wheat flour, eggs, and a sweet paste made from red beans, Hwangnam bread originated in the lovely southeastern city of Gyeongju, where it was supposedly birthed by the same family business that evolved into the Hwangnam Ppang that's known today. This snack is really more of a pastry than a bread, but man does it hit right. It's plump and warm, the red bean filling is soft, smooth, and moist, and not too sugary, and it's got an exterior that's beautifully flaky and buttery. This is soul-soothing. And even though we're just getting started, Kangsil is already busting out some serious tasty faces. But we've got no time to waste, because our next stop is the kind of place that turns heads.
We're up in Buam-dong, a magical neighborhood that we highlighted recently on this channel, and our landing place is a tiny unique bakery that also showed up in our fish roll episode, when we featured their palagro baguette. The name is Myohan-빵집, and it's run by a forward-thinking husband and wife duo, one of whom honed their culinary skills in both Providence, Rhode Island, and at the Seoul campus of the prestigious Le Cordon Bleu. There are some really knockout stuff here, made with a range of high-quality ingredients, but the plan is to grab just a few choice selections and take them back to headquarters, where we can scarf them down when no one's watching. Except for you guys. Kicking things off is Myohan's country makgeolli bread, concocted with the milky fizzy fermented rice wine that Koreans love so much. It's firm on the outside and insanely light and airy on the inside, and flavor-wise, it's mighty special. The crust has a dark caramelized flavor that comes from the dough's own fermentation process, and the soft, wholesome middle is dotted with the smallest notes of sweet makgeolli funk. This has a super attractive charm to it. Next up is a mukbang ciabatta, and wow, we simply were not prepared for how good this would be. It's more pillowy than a typical ciabatta and a bit more moist, but the crust is perfectly chewy and the inside is even more heavenly than the last bread. Add to that a malty earthiness, some fresh herbal zing, and a gentle nutty flavor, and the result is one of the best baked items we've had in a long time. John's having a meltdown over here. Then, for more of a dessert vibe, our third goodie is a pistachio-heavy take on a maritozzo, a very traditional Italian cream bun. It's so delicate that you want to stick to a whisper in its presence, and it's got a faintly sweet but extra aggressive milk taste to it. The pistachios add a curious mellow richness with a nice crunch, and the combination of everything makes for a completely dreamy bite. This is fabulous. The fine-tuned skill that Myohan-빵집 brings to their baking is so impressive, and we shouldn't forget to mention that their palagro baguette was also way off the charts, with explosive fishiness. If you ever get the chance to stop into this wonderful place, you will not regret it. But for now, we're ready to move again. Our next stop is in Yeouido, at the Hyundai Seoul, one of the newest and largest department stores in all of South Korea. It houses over 600 shops, including some very heavy-duty bakeries, and for this round, we've got croissants on the mind, from the pastry specialists at Siganeul Deulida. This little chain has only 3 locations in the city, but it's got a reputation for flaky excellence and intensely good cream filling. We're ordering a few of their hit items, and instead of making a scene right here and now, we're gonna opt once more to enjoy our treasure back at home. We've got 3 gorgeous croissants lined up to try, and our first is a green tea cream version. It gets messy pretty quick, but it's very on target. The dough has both a brittle crisp and a moist butteriness, and the green tea flavor comes through big time. But what's really notable is just how loaded this thing is with decadent cream. It's outlandish, and it only adds to the amazing texture going on here. Following that is a black tea cream version. This one is more focused in flavor, with a really clear butter taste, and the boldness of the black tea cream launches this to a whole nother level. It's way strong, and it's squirting all over the place with wonderful richness and bitter notes of chocolate. We can't get over how great this is. Then extending our sugar run even further, the last treat is a red bean milk cream croissant. It's the most straightforward of the bunch, and maybe a tad sweet, but it's still an incredible pastry made with amazing touch. These guys know what they're doing. But guess what? If you think we've had enough, we haven't. It's time to cruise over to our 4th destination.
For a speedy nighttime refreshment, we're just beating closing time over at Megacoffee, a chain we normally wouldn't go out of our way to highlight, but that for a limited time is offering up something we've been dying to try. Ppang, or potato bread, which in the last decade has become crazy popular in cafes and bakeries throughout Korea. But importantly, these guys are making it with the OG recipe and with an almighty blessing from the potato godfathers at Cafe Kamchabat, the spot where this bread was first created, and a big attraction in Gangwon-do, a picturesque province known for growing the best spuds in the country. Many places have done their own halfway decent take on potato bread, and some, like the super chain Paris Baguette, have even received public backlash for lazily trying to copy the original, without giving due props to Kamchabat. But when it comes to this version, which uses grade A potatoes straight from Gangwon-do, we are so down. Besides looking very much like a tater, this thing has a warmth, a fragrance, and a salt and pepper savory outside that screams quality, like a freshly oven-baked potato should. It's low-key sweet, with an irresistible stretchy feel that comes from the rice flour that's also used, and it's the kind of thing that once you've started on, you do not want to stop. Of course, we got a bonus treat to spank our dessert itch a bit more, a toffee-flavored macaron speckled with a puff wheat snack known as Ppang, and we are indeed getting smacked on the rump. Dense cream filling, lots of nutty and caramelly vibes, and sweet jubilation all around. I'm getting giddy over this, like a legit court jester. It's about time we put this episode to bed, but you'll be happy to know that even without the camera fully rolling, we're gonna keep the fire burning hot with more loot from Hyehwa, a terrific bakery in the Hwangnam neighborhood. Butter and red bean scone sandwiches, scones made with Earl Grey tea and Oreo cookie, and more misbehaving after that. We ain't playing around here, people, and we're definitely not slowing down. Our sincere appreciation for hanging with us, and until next time, be well, y'all.